Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Teddy Roosevelt's new nationalism speech. In this speech, he promotes social justice and the economic welfare of the underprivileged. And I believe that this speech was very important and it did promote a better society. And I'm basically just going to be informing you about the speech and why it is important and how it promoted the betterment of society. In the speech, one of the quotes is, "I do not ask for over-centralization, but I do ask that we work in a spirit of broad and far-reaching nationalism when we work for what concerns our people as a whole. We are all Americans. Our common interests are as broad as the continent. I speak to you here in Kansas exactly as I would speak in New York or Georgia. For the most vital problems are those which affect us all alike." This is from Teddy Roosevelt's new nationalism speech, as I mentioned before. And this quote shows that he wanted to change how Americans treated the lower class and how he wanted to improve social justice and much more. This really helped people who are more privileged see how the ones who weren't as privileged were living. And I think it was a good way to start the betterment of society. But before I go more into what Teddy Roosevelt's speech is about, I'm going to provide some background information about Teddy Roosevelt. For one, he was the 26th president of the United States. He was the youngest president in the nation's history. Teddy Roosevelt also grew up in New York, and one thing that I believe made him a good president was that he knew what loss was, and he knew how to help those who have lost either family members, jobs, anything like that. The loss that he had was his first wife, and his mom died on the same day, sadly. And he was also in the Spanish-American War, so he had seen a lot of things that I believe he could help with America in helping them improve their society. Now back to Roosevelt's speech. I'm going to tell you about what the occasion was and much more for the speech. The speech was held in Osawatomie, Kansas on September 1st, 1910. Roosevelt, I believe, wanted to give this speech because he wanted to promote a better society and he wanted to improve the lives of Americans. And by doing that, he argued that government protection of human welfare and property rights, but he also argued that human welfare was more important than property rights. This speech promoted a better society without a doubt. That was the main point for why Teddy Roosevelt gave this speech, and he really cared for the American citizens, and he really cared about helping out and making America a better place. And another quote to prove that is, "A great democracy has got to be progressive, or it will soon cease to be great or a democracy." This is from the website goodreads.com. And to me, I feel like he's trying to say that we need to all work together and we need to improve society, improve how we're living, improve how we're seeing politics, and just really come together and work together to make a great democracy. In this speech, all Teddy Roosevelt wanted to improve was social justice and economic welfare, as I mentioned before. And he wanted to improve the United States of America most of all, and like I said, improve how Americans lived and try to help the lower class because he was once in their shoes. The speech alone shows Roosevelt was trying to improve our society they lived in at that time. Teddy Roosevelt's speech did promote a better society and a healthier outlook on what Americans should do. Back to the first quote I showed y'all from his new nationalism speech. "I do not ask for over-centralization, but I do ask that we work in a spirit of broad and far-reaching nationalism when we work for what concerns our people as a whole. We are all Americans. Our common interests are as broad as the continent. I speak to you here in Kansas exactly as I would speak to you in New York or Georgia. For the most vital problems are those which affect us all alike." The new nationalism speech was a way for people to see what is wrong with the society they were living in, and was a way to show them how to improve the society they lived in. Teddy Roosevelt really cared for America and American citizens, and all he wanted was to improve the society. And I believe that this speech did show the betterment of society. Thank you very much. You'll have a great day.